the great virtue of wisdom of Nagarjuna, Etienne Lamotte, composed by the Bodhisattva Nagarjuna and translated by the Tripitaka Dharma Karaya Kumarajiva of the land of Kucha, under the later ts'in, translated from the French, by Gelongma Karma Migmi Chodron. Chapter 30. The Characteristics of Prajna. I. Great Prajna. Question. Why is the prajnaparamita the only one to be called maha, while the other paramitas are not? Answer. Maha, in the language of the scene, means great. Prajna means wisdom. Paramita means coming to the other shore. It is called paramita because it reaches the other shore of the ocean of wisdom, because it reaches the end of all the wisdoms and attains their summit. In all the universes, the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 times are the greatest, then come the bodhisattvas, the pratyekabuddhas and the sravakas. These 4 kinds of great individuals are born from prajnaparamita. This is why it is called great. Furthermore, the prajnaparamita is worth a great fruit of retribution to beings, an immense, indestructible, eternal and unchangeable fruit, namely, nirvana. The other 5 paramitas do not have such power, for, without the prajnaparamita, the virtues of generosity, etc., can give only fruits of worldly retribution. This is why they are not called great. Prajna and the prajnas. Question. What is the prajna? Answer. The prajnaparamita encompasses all the wisdoms. Why? The bodhisattva who seeks Buddhahood must practice all the dharmas and acquire all the prajnas, i.e., the prajnas of the sravakas, the pratyekabuddhas and the Buddhas. 1. Prajna of the sravakas. These prajnas are of 3 kinds according to whether they belong to the siksa, the asiksa or someone who is neither siksa nor asiksa. 1. The knowledges of those who are neither siksa nor asiksa are e.g. in the levels of unproductive wisdom, the meditation on the disgusting, attention to the breath, the 4 foundations of mindfulness of the world of desire, and the 4 nirvana. Heat summits, patience and the supreme worldly dharmas. 2. The knowledges of the siksa go from the dukkha dharmajnanaksanti up to the prajna of the diamond concentration which the future arhat obtains during the 9th anantayamarga of the bhavagra. 3. The knowledges of the asiksa are the prajna that marks the 9th vimukti marga of the arhat and all the asiksa prajnas that follow e.g. the knowledge of cessation, the knowledge of the non-production of defilements, etc. These are the knowledges of the asiksa, but it is the same for the prajnas of those who seek the state of pratyekabuddhahood. 2. Prajna of the pratyekabuddhas. Question. If it is the same for the state of pratyekabuddha, why do you make a distinction between sravaka and pratyekabuddha? Answer. Although the final state may be of the same type, the knowledges used are different. At the stage where the Buddhas do not appear and the Buddhadharma has disappeared, the pratyekabuddhas, by reason of previous causes, alone produce wisdom without having heard it from others. It is by means of their own wisdom that they obtain the path. Thus the king of a country had gone for a walk in his garden. In the cool morning, he saw how the flowers and fruits of the forest trees were beautiful and desirable. He ate some and fell asleep. His wives and courtesans, walking together to gather flowers, wrecked the forest trees. The king woke up, saw the destruction and said to himself, "The entire world is transitory and perishable like this forest." As soon as he had this thought, the mind of the pure path arose in him. He cut all the fetters and attained the state of pratyekabuddhahood. Endowed with the 6 superknowledges, he went flying to a solitary forest. There are other stories of this kind. The merits and vows of previous lifetimes activate a fruit of retribution and, in the present lifetime, it is enough for a pratyekabuddha to see a very minor event in order to realize the state of pratyekabuddha. This is what he difference consists of. Furthermore, there are two kinds of pratyekabuddhas. The one who is enlightened by himself and the one who is enlightened as the result of an event. We will give an example of the pratyekabuddha enlightened following an event. The one who is enlightened by himself is he who attains wisdom by himself during the present lifetime without learning from another. This is the pratyekabuddha enlightened by himself. There are two kinds of self-enlightened pratyekabuddhas. First, he was a Siksa, born among humans. At a time when the Buddha and his Dharma had not yet disappeared, he was a Sratapana. Since then, at the end of 7 lifetimes without an 8th, he himself attains bodhi. This person is not called Buddha, is not called Arhat. He is a minor pratyekabuddha, no different from the Arhats. There are also pratyekabuddhas who are not like Sariputra or the other great Arhats. These great pratyekabuddhas, during 100 great kalpas, have practiced the qualities and increased their wisdom. They have some of the 32 marks of the great man. 31, 30, 29 or even one single mark. In their wisdom they prevail over the 9 kinds of Arhats. They are able to penetrate the general characteristics and the specific characteristics inherent in the profound dharmas. They cultivate the absorptions for a long time and are always pleased with solitude. They are called great pratyekabuddhas for all these characteristics. This constitutes the difference. 3. Prajna of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The Bodhisattvas who seek Buddhahood make the following vow as soon as the first production of the mind of body. I wish to become Buddha. To save all beings, to attain the attributes of the Buddhas, to practice the 6 paramitas, to destroy Mara's army and the classes, to obtain omniscience and to realize the state of Buddha. Until they enter into nirvana without residue, they observe their initial vow. From that moment on, all their wisdoms and all their knowledges of general characteristics and specific characteristics are called prajna of the Buddhas. The prajnaparamita, which cognizes deeply the 3 kinds of prajna of the sravakas, of the pratyekabuddhas and of the Buddhas, is properly called prajna that goes to the end of all the wisdoms. 4. Prajna of the heretics. Question. As you say, prajnaparamita must penetrate deeply all the wisdoms, mundane as well as supramundane. Among all the wisdoms that it fully exhausts, why do you mention only the wisdoms of the 3 vehicles?